Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for choosing Across the Fence. I'm Will Michael in this afternoon for Judy Simpson. There are 183 public libraries in Vermont, and that means there are at least 183 reasons to celebrate this week's National Library Week. Our 183 public libraries are put to good use. In the past decade, libraries across the state have seen circulation increase by more than 10%, and the use of public library computers has increased by nearly 25%. Here at Across the Fence, we've helped celebrate National Library Week for nearly 30 years, and this afternoon we continue that tradition by welcoming Amy Howlett of the Vermont Department of Public Libraries and Bree Droppa from the Westford Public Library. I want to welcome both of you. Thanks for being with us. You're each going to review several books, and at the end of the program, I'll let you know how you can get the free copy of the recommended book list. We're going to start with, we have books for pre-readers, young readers, and as we progress, we'll get into some adult reading. Amy, you have our first book this afternoon.
I do, and we'll start with the youngest, as you said. So I brought Elemental Peas, which is just a wonderful children's book. And I don't know if you've been following children's books that well, but we do a lot of things now for kids, for preschoolers. So this is an alphabet book, LMNOP, and it's also sort of a book about getting ready for careers. When you're a preschooler, you could be thinking about careers. So each letter of the alphabet is all the things you could be. So plumbers and party givers, and that would be P, of course. So Elemental Peas, Keith Baker, part of a series, and actually the book you want to start out with your preschoolers and kindergartners sitting on your lap and sharing the joy of the book.
I love the colors in this book.
Yeah, aren't they great?
Just
Spring.
Fantastic.
It's finally here.
We hope so, Amy.
Oh, sorry.
We're going to turn things over to Bree with another pre-reader type book.
Yeah, I do have another pre-reader, a little less serious.
It's so much more popular than mine.
Toot is a wonderful book by Leslie Patricelli. It's a board book. This is a cute baby from Binky and Blanky. Is back exploring all sounds that come out of your back end. This baby is potty training, so has noticed that some stuff's going on down there. This is great for the potty trainer, the pre-potty trainer.
All the questions that come with that age.
Just exploring that fun stage in life, and gives a little bit of words to it. There's lots of good sounds. This is potty humor at its best, but it's not vulgar, and that's what I like about it. Parents have been raving about this, and big sisters have been wanting to read it to their little siblings.
Oh, how cute. That's great. So this is the Lemonade War, and now we're moving up to those first chapter books. I love this book. So it's two siblings, Evan and Jesse, and they're careful with their mother. They try not to fight too much in front of her. She's a single parent, and they don't want to make things difficult. But the kids are very different. Evan is a 6th grader. I think I have that right. And he's really good at sussing out people. Jessie is all about math, and she can't ever figure out who the mean girls are in the class. She has to ask Evan. So the crisis is this: at the end of the summer, they are going to be in the same grade. And Evan is horrified at the idea. His sister that's so good at math, she's going to be showing him up in front of his friends. And Jessie is scared. You know, she's going to be with all these big kids. So the field is the Lemonade War, who can sell more lemonade. And there are these wonderful marketing tips and how to sell more. You know, is it goodwill? Is it lowering your price? Just a delight. And again, I love these series books because if a kid likes them, then you're all set for the next one. Yeah. So it's the Lemonade War. The author is Jacqueline Davies, and I think a lot of public libraries own the series.
From lemonades to Lemoncello, is that correct?
Yeah, this is Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's library. Mr. Lemoncello is an eccentric game maker who loves libraries, who grew up with libraries. And this is the story of Kyle Keeley. Kyle Keeley is a 12-year-old boy who loves all things games, video games, board games, word games, puzzles. And Mr. Lemoncello holds a contest to who can go to the opening of his new library, multi-million-dollar library with its own game room. So Kyle is all about that. He wins the contest. Him and a group of ragtag kids go to this opening, but Mr. Lemoncello has something up his sleeve. He's almost a Willy Wonka kind of figure, larger than life, and he ends up locking these kids in the library for the night, and they have to use the library to escape from the library. There's lots of puzzles, lots of puns, word games. This is on the DCF list this year. That's the Dorothy Canfield Fisher Book Awards. So it's perfect for those kids 4th through 7th grade who love reading, and they'll appreciate the references to other books that they will have read. I think even the Lemonade War is mentioned in there.
Oh, great. Yeah. We love those books that talk
Tie
about
in.
other books.
Cross-reference, yeah.
So I have The We Free Men by Terry Pratchett. This is a little bit of a sentimental pick for me. Terry Pratchett died this year. And part of me is sad and part of me is grateful because we have so many fabulous books that he wrote. So The We Free Men is part of the Discworld series. There are tons of books in the Discworld series. This is, again, aimed at kids, but adults will get such a laugh out of it. So it's a 9-year-old girl, Tiffany Aching, living in England on the Chalk. She wants to be a witch, and she senses there's another world. And in fact, fairy tale is knocking at the borders. So luckily, she has this crowd of lying, thieving, swearing little people who help her, the wee free men, who will never be captured again. The only thing they fear is lawyers. So lots of laughs, and if you like this, a whole world of other Terry Pratchett to explore. But I love The Wee Free Men. It might be my favorite of all the books that I've read of his.
Well, a fascinating description and review there. I was curious because in preparing for it, I only got to see the cover.
Yeah, it's great.
Trying to understand who were these wee free men. So very nicely done.
Fantasy world. We love our fantasies.
Oh, yes.
Bree, we're coming back over to you.
Okay, well, another fantasy book here. We have Tom McNeil's Far, Far Away. And this book is also on the Dorothy Canfield Fisher Book Award list this year, but it also was on for the National Book Awards. So this isn't a book that appeals not only to older children, young adults, but also adults as well. Tom McNeil has created a wonderful story of a boy, a girl, and a ghost. And Jeremy has a special ability. He can hear ghosts, the voices of ghosts. And his particular ghost is the voice of Jacob Grimm, of Grimm Fairy Tales. So Jeremy is all about fairy tales. He's a little shy until he meets Ginger. And Ginger is the bad girl in town, but she's actually very sweet and very nice. They have a bit of a romance. But then we have the villain. The villain comes in. It's a very, very creepy, very dark, very terrifying baker. We don't think of bakers as being terrifying, but this is a person who everyone else in town loves, but he has a secret, and it gets very dark, very scary. So I wouldn't recommend these to the kids that are sensitive to horror. It will keep some kids up at night. But it's wonderful. And I listened to it on audiobook. It's a lovely audio.
Yeah, I think we appreciate audios in Vermont because we spend so much time in the car.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I have two for adults. The first one is Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith. It's not really Robert Galbraith, it's really J.K. Rowling writing with a new pseudonym because this is a departure for her. So Cuckoo's Calling is the story of a celebrity suicide and the private eye, Cormoran Strike, who's asked to take it on and solve it. I love Cormoran Strike. It's that mix of jaded, intellectual, ex-soldier. He has a prosthesis that bothers his leg a lot. He's always having to unstrap it and calm down. He comes from celebrity. He's the unacknowledged bastard of a rock star. So he sort of knows that world, and it's the world that unfolds that, of course, is so fascinating. Cuckoo's World, the world of high-pressure models and the mystery of did she jump or was she pushed? The other one I have strikes a slightly different note, The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Zevin. I love this story, partly because of all the references to other books. So it's the story of a bookseller who lives on an island. He's lost his wife and is feeling bereft. In fact, he's even thinking that maybe he should just kill himself. And into his life On the island ferry comes the book rep, who is all geared up to sell books, and she has in particular a memoir, a sweet, adorable memoir that she adores. And he says, not for me, I don't like first novels, I don't like memoirs, I don't like heartfelt, I don't like any of it. And you know this is the start of a great romance, and you just have to wait your way through. I particularly love the cop. There's sort of a small, each story, each chapter starts with a reference to a story, and his story is the Roald Dahl, where someone is killed with a frozen roast, which is then put in the oven and baked and served to the cops. So Cuckoo's Calling and the storied life of A.J. Fikry.
Books and pen names we're learning about
Yeah,
today.
yeah, J.K. Rowling. Who would have thought?
Harry Potter? No,
Yeah.
no. On to adult
Back
things.
over to you, Bree.
Oh, well, be prepared to lose your weekend to The Girl on the Train. This is a page-turner. This is a new thriller mystery, really going to appeal to those people who liked Gone Girl. Rachel rides the train into London every day and passes the same house. She's an alcoholic divorcee. Her life isn't going well, and she sees the same couple, the golden couple, out on their balcony every day, and she fantasizes about them and their perfect life until one day when she rides by and she sees something that shatters that image. And then the woman ends up disappearing. There's alcoholism, there's amnesia, there's plot twists. It's just a really great thriller.
Huh, we love those unreliable narrators, don't we?
Yes, yes.
So can't we talk about something more pleasant? That's what Roz Chast's parents say to her. This is sort of a familiar story to me. I'm in that age group now when we have to figure out how to help our parents. We have children of our own, but they're the people who need us. Roz's parents met in 5th grade. They married in the 40s, and they lived in the same apartment for 45 years. So she knows that they're frail. She worries about them. This is a shot of Roz and her classmates way back when. And you see this wonderful wavery line that she has, the warmth of the illustrations, her unvarnished view of her as a child, sulky, unpleasant, sullen. But you know she isn't that way. So just great graphic novel about taking care of aging parents, the best.
Well, just in putting it together, Amy, I have to say, very serious, but it also brought a smile to my face. The memoir piece, very poignant.
Yeah.
Bree?
Yeah, well, I have 2 nonfiction books now for adults. The first one I'm going to talk about, The Books That Went to War by Molly Guptick Manning. Great book for Libraries Week because it's got war hero librarians. This story covers the Army Corps of Librarians as they try to get good quality paperbacks into the hands of our World War II soldiers. This book is wonderful. It talks about the inspiring power of reading, escapism, boosting morale of our fighting soldiers over in World War II in the trenches. It's got great photos of people reading, books in the trenches. It was very interesting to me because of the books they sent, and The Great Gatsby was one of those books that was kind of recovered from obscurity by this program.
Well, the effort that went through to get the books to, as you say, not only the photos to show it, but the story behind it.
Exactly.
Fair to say another war-related book that you also have.
Well, kind of. This is The Boys in the Boat. The Boys in the Boat's been out for a while, but it just came out in paperback. It's a phenomenal read. It's the story of the 1936 gold medal Olympic team. They are the crew team from the University of Washington. This is one of those great books where the greatest generation works very hard and succeeds. It tells the story of these 9 men, a little bit of background about each of them. It's a beautifully written book. Fans of Unbroken or Seabiscuit, these great narrative history books, will also love this one. It's a powerful read, and you don't need to like sports, you don't need to like crew or know anything about it. It's all in there. Daniel Brown puts it all together in one wonderful package.
Well, you guys have done a great job. We have just about 40 seconds left here. We want to pass along the...
Sorry.
No, not a problem. The list of books that we've reviewed this afternoon, you can get them by contacting Amy in the Vermont Department of Libraries. You can write to them at 109 State Street in Montpelier, and the zip code is 05609. And the phone number also listed on your screen, 802-828-3232. 3261, 802-828-3261. And Amy, a new effort, not a new effort, a renewed effort to get all of this stuff on Facebook and Twitter and some of the other things that you and the department are doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for being with us, both of you today.
Thank
a lot
you.
of fun.
Thank you.
That is our program for today. We know you have choices, so thanks for choosing us. I'm Will Michael, inviting you to join us back here each weekday afternoon for another visit Across the Fence.